Hello and welcome back to Mastermind. Our mission is to build million-dollar businesses so that we can have financial freedom, time for our families, and make an impact in our communities. Hey, Seuss, kick us off some big wins, buddy.
Yes, my big win is breaking through the 300 revenue mark. So it's good for me after being stuck on that 200 for the last 2 years. So I'm finally able to break it through. I
Yes,
think
sir.
Yep.
Way to go. Way to go. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Sonia,
I'll be going to PCA Latinos tomorrow, and I'll be speaking on a panel. So that's a cool win.
muy bien in Espanol.
En español. Con mi esposo. That's a big win to get him to go with
Ooh,
me so he can see
yeah.
bigger picture. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, he should get excited. So that's awesome. Way to go. Congrats. You are a leader. So I'm not surprised.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Florian, big wins.
Hey, good morning, guys. Big wins, couple big wins. Yesterday, I received a phone call to do some garage door. There are 3 single garage doors. They are mahogany. They installed in the builder, and then that building is no finish, so it was a good opportunity for us. We're gonna start on Wednesday. That is between the 2 projects I have right now. So they're begging me, please. But the first project I have, I'm working so hard. So far, I have 500 hours. So I did my math with 23% on the labor and everything. It comes like 31,000, which on the budget I have 34, so I'm pretty good on it. The other small project, is a new apartment that started yesterday, and hopefully today they're gonna finish all the spray, let's say like ceilings, get it done, one coat on the walls. So it's 2 day jobs for 2 guys. I'm very happy about it. So I have another project which I scheduled yesterday for the end of October is a community. And it is a good chance for me to put my advertising that because it's a front gate. So everybody's going to go in and out. Put sign there. So hopefully we'll get something. But so far, my 2 crews are doing very well. So I'm happy about it. That's what I have.
Awesome. It doesn't get any better than that when the crews are rocking and
No,
rolling.
I cannot, I
Yeah.
cannot complain. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
That's
thank you.
awesome. Right on, Florian. All right, Chris, big wins, buddy.
Good morning. My big win is definitely just being in the gym or getting into that habit and doing that 5 days a week, and also diet, counting all the calories and all that, and feeling a lot better. We had a football game. That was a cheat day. We ate some burgers and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I don't even like this anymore. So that was really good. BNI is going good. Google SEO is really good. SendOutCards. One of my SendOutCards did a return to sender, so it came back to me. I got to see what it looked like. They came out really good. Yeah, just doing the whole top of mind thing, and it's going really good.
Right on. And you scored 5 extra cool points this morning, Chris. You've got the DYB system above the line up there behind you. Oh, and Dream Big. He's on a roll. No wonder why he's getting after it, man. That's awesome. Right on. And way to get into the gym and counting calories. Speaking of, hey, Seuss, man, I see those numbers you're putting up, dude. I'm never bench pressing with you when we get together. No, great job, guys. Great job. All right, what is the one thing that we can brainstorm such that it might make everything else easier and or unnecessary? Jesus, lead the way.
One thing I noticed here, guys, I think it has to be the warranties. So I'm trying to figure out some type of program for the decks. 'Cause I know usually you don't warranty decks, but one thing I've been doing just to put the customer at ease is like going back the following year and doing the floor at no cost. So it usually takes us about an hour, like it would with the 1 hour touch-ups. But I'm not sure if I should build it into a program or if I should just stop offering the free staining after a year or two. So I feel like we've done a lot of those this year from the decks from last year.
Okay, so if I hear you clearly, you find that you're going back and spending an hour and recoding these decks. Now we say it's an hour, it might be an hour of labor there, but my experience was that usually cost me a half day, meaning after they done that, went back, when they finally got to an actual job that was live or current, I only got like 4 hours of production that day.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense? So while that might have only taken an hour of actual labor on the site, it really cost us like half day, 4 hours, right? Generally.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good service that you're providing. One option would be to build those 4 hours into the original estimate, right? So that it doesn't actually cost you anything when you go back to do it.
Right.
Which just means I'm going to use a round rate of $50 an hour. Most people are higher than that, just for those listening or whatever. So that's 200, you build an extra $200 for labor, right? If it were 50 an hour, I'm just using that as an example. And then if you're looking at a deck and if you're selling decks for, I don't know, depending on the size, 2,000, 5,000, say if it's 2,000, then we just need to level up our value game. And an extra bonus is you can say, listen, something else that we do is I'm going to come back next year and put an extra coat on the top.
Yeah, I usually tell them that part and they really like it.
Yeah. But build it into the price so you're covered. And then what you might do too, just to be diligent, is to take that piece of the business and put it in the business savings, right? Until you go and do the deck. And then once you go back and do that one coat, then you can move it from savings over to your operating account.
Okay, sounds good. And then
Your
how about
labor's
like,
always covered.
Steve, how about like actually like creating like an actual like sheet, like program, telling, explaining it? Like for those people that like to see things explained through paper, or you think that's not necessary right now?
How do you mean exactly?
Like creating like a form, like a program form. When I would tell them after 2 years, 1 year, we can come back, we'll charge you half of this after 4 years or something like that. If you paid this amount this first time. I don't know, it's just something that's been in my mind for the past 2 years. I've heard of a deck program like that, but I haven't been
Yeah.
able to get it all together.
Okay. It's possible. For me, when we did decks, we just said, look, they last 2 years.
Okay.
It just would last 2 years. Plan on doing it every 2 years.
Okay.
However, I will come back and recoat the top for you next year. It is included in my service. Now, you might get an extra year or two out of that because you do that. What are you finding for your decks once you're giving them that extra coat? Do you know what that extends the life for you in your market there in that region?
Depends if it's a solid or a semi-transparent, but yeah, for sure the solids are about 2 years. Semi-transparent is about a year.
Okay. And that's what we would just tell them to say, look, this is just, I'm just going to give it to you straight. We prepare properly and we use the best products and they last 2 years.
Okay.
And that's the facts, right? That's the nature of the beast. I will come with our service. It doesn't include me coming back and quick top coat on the deck for you. And so instead of these other programs, I would just earn their trust, earn their relationship so that you follow up in a couple of years. So it becomes more of a subscription, becomes more of a repeat client for you every 2 years to go. And so you build that relationship and you just say, hey, Mrs. Smith, Jesus, Garcia Painting, hope you're having a great day. Following up on your 2-year deck coating. Would you like to go ahead and get that on the schedule?
Sounds good.
Hey, Sus, thank you for calling. I was so busy. You are on the ball. I'm going to have some sandwiches and some Kool-Aid and hot chocolate. Send your fellers right over.
Sounds good, Steve.
Okay. And I'll just go back to keep the process simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep it simple because simple streamlines.
Just want to add something when it comes to warranty. What I give to my clients is 5 years warranty and 1 hour free touch-up every year. Means like it's very limited. So I come there, it's no step ladder or ladder, nothing at all. Whatever I can see for an hour. And there's especially elderly people that love it. And no matter what, is a tricky part because you get there and then said, oh, I don't like that bedroom color. So can you please paint it so you get more business? And they talk to each other when it comes to that. Now, warranty is like, to me, I mean, if it's something like that, Jesus, you have to write it probably in your warranty, write it, be more specific, and say like a deck warranty 1 year, which, for example, I do a lot of cabinets, but I don't give any warranty when it comes to, because they're going to scratch it or something like that. It's something different.
Yep.
But be more specific and write it down. Hey, let's say like Doug, for example, is 1 year warranty. Walls, 5 years warranty. You know what I mean? And then
Mhm.
at least it's black and white. So you don't have to fight because sometimes we write 5 years warranty, say, hey, you did my cabinets. Where is the 5 years warranty? You know what I mean? So if you be more specific, and if you give that 1 year or 1 hour free trial, they'll love that. So for example, when I go to BNI, I show my 5-in-1, and I say 5-in-1, 5 years warranty, 1 hour free touch, and they love it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, to me, it's independent when I do it. I do a lot of front doors, for example, and I say to them, you got to do once a year. And if you are next to the beach, next to the water, salt water, no matter what, you have to do every 6 months. And
Mhm.
sequence, for example, has a specific material which is just for maintenance. They call it maintenance. So you can do on the door, it's very liquid, which it holds for a year no matter what. I have a lot of clients that call me after 3 years, hey, my front door, this and that. I said, listen, I give you the warranty, you got to follow up. And actually, I should follow up because it's my business, not their business. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. Steve was mentioning, like, hey, call them and say, okay, how the deck is looking. You know, it's been 2 years. I would like to schedule it now. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't have anything
Mhm.
for you to suggest right now, but
Yeah, right on. Thank you, Florian.
yeah.
Sonia, Chris, do you have any deck warranties?
We don't have a lot of decks around here, but we'll refinish doors, and I'll do 3 extra coats of spar urethane on a door and call that a 3-year warranty and make that an optional item on the estimate. So if they want that, they can opt into it, but I don't include it. The other thing I was gonna say was if any type of warranty call, anything that you're doing for free or whatever, I agree with Steve that it should be built into the price somehow. But if it isn't or whatever, have we gotten a Google review from them yet? Have we gotten a video testimonial from them yet? There's probably something that you can still get from these jobs that can make it worth it.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no warranties for me so far. We rarely do them. That's going to be one of my on today. As far as doing stuff like wood staining, it's a process, and it's really tough for us because we're not very familiar with it. So I don't have anything to give at the moment.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you guys who live in Texas, but here in Florida, the sun is very brutal. So no matter what, once a year, you got to refresh that front door. It's not gonna happen. And even the good materials, I go after a year and a half, and I can see the sheens start to getting out. I do a lot of doors, especially in the big buildings, houses that are 20 millions, 10 millions. So already I scheduled that for October. I have 3-4 doors starting. Scuff it, mask it, spray it right away and get out. So that's my area. I don't know in Texas how it is, but sun here is very bad. It's very bad.
Oh yeah, it's the same. It's the same. We'll do 2 coats of spar urethane on a door and tell them it really should only last a year, but we'll do an additional 3 coats. And basically we tell them we call that a 3-year warranty and just let them know. Depends on various factors, but 3 more coats.
So let me ask you that. Is that a better idea if you switch on the product? Because I love sequence. I go to the higher product. ZAR is good too. And when it comes to material, I'm a guy like, I love to spend the material because if you pay like even $10 or $20 more in a gallon, but it gives you like a big break when it comes to warranty, you feel bad. It's a better product. So I rather spend a little bit more on the materials. Even whatever I finish, I don't go with my gallons, for example, I use like Regal when it comes to interior, exterior. So I go always the higher product and add in an estimate. If the estimate is like $100 for materials, just do it 120. I'm just saying. So I don't know how is your area to beat those jobs, but where I am, of course, you can charge a lot.
Right on. Thank you, guys. Sonia.
So speaking of, we had a porch that I guess some more communication skills is I guess what I'm needing help with, or just improving and getting a little more thorough with, because I know I have the gift of gab. However, when it comes to communication and follow up and really asking the questions, I fall through a few times. Like this example, we had a porch that we were to stain, and so I hired a new painter. And the painter says, yes, we looked at some of his work. We knew his brother, which was a coincidence. Oh, wow, we like working with your brother. So we're developing that team. So I didn't ask the GC, it was a general contractor. I didn't ask him how he liked it stained, but we're used to the way it looks transparent, even with a semi-transparent. But when I didn't have a chance. I had a really busy day that day. I came back to check on the job and the painter was gone. And then I'm looking at the job going, this looks like it's painted. So I asked him, how did you apply it? And I go, did you brush? And he said, yeah, I did. I was like, wow, but it was really thick. I've never used this product before. I was, why didn't you call me? And then I was thinking, well, I could have checked earlier. But anyways, it was so thick, it looked like semi-gloss paint on air. And so when the client came to check it, he asked me, how did you apply it? And so I asked the painter again, how did you apply it? Or did you brush it? I didn't ask him how he applied it. And he said, I brushed, yes. So I relayed the information and he's like, I brushed. He goes, well, I don't know. It doesn't look like it was brushed on. I go, I didn't even get to see what this product was or play with it or anything. Later, on a Sunday, he said, you're dishonest. I want full transparency. He sprayed it. Like I said, I didn't pay attention. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't ask him how he wanted it. And so we had to go strip that thing. We stripped it down. So I know how to strip now. Yay. So if anybody wants stripping and restaining, but I don't want to do that. But anyways, know how to do it now. So we learned. That's a good thing. But I think it's more communication and ask questions. And sometimes I don't know what to ask or how to ask it, or I'll forget. And I'm just like, where do I slip that in there now? As I get really caught up on trying to run the whole thing. So aside from that, I think that was one of the biggest things I run into is SOPs and explaining things thoroughly, even though I put a work order out and just the whole.
So is that your subcontractor?
It was a subcontractor. I mean, he's a good one where I can price it, and he remodels, and so it's really easy. We do a lot of the exteriors, and to us that's pretty easy for us. Is just going in there and not doing too much, just the prep and so forth. And this is an exterior one, but he wants us to do his interior of his home that he bought. And so we're still in to do that. Yay. That's a good thing. But I hope you don't feel I'm dishonest anymore, because we went and fixed it and we got it done. It's good. But I just feel like it's mainly that little thing where just making sure I ask questions. And sometimes I don't know what questions to ask a lot of times. And so that's where my estimating, that it all flows into that too. But I think that last week we talked about this before, how do you know, or how do you get to know what you don't know type of thing. And it's an ongoing process. And so we run into these things. And then it takes me a few steps back, and then the selling doesn't happen and I'm just all over the place. But aside from that.
Yeah, that's a hard one. How can you know what you don't know? The traditional route is that we come up as technicians, originally painters working for somebody. And that was how we learned what we didn't know. You're in a precarious situation. So that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Yeah. How do you know when a situation's not right? Oh, man. Trying to think back of all the lessons, the hard knock lessons I learned. And the bad news is, even though coming up as a technician, we had to learn a lot of these the hard way. And so these are what they call the hard knocks of entrepreneurialism and building a business. I'm just I'm thinking back like over the years of, oh, okay, when we sprayed those thousands of lineal feet of 12-inch base for the 6,000 square foot home, we were supposed to wipe the stain off. That was a hard lesson. Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, we learned some of these the hard way. At any point, I would say listen to your gut. And at any point, if something isn't crystal clear or common, post it at Mastermind. And I don't know your relationship with your team, or ask them, say, hey guys, like if something went off about the door in your gut, maybe it didn't. If there's nothing there, then unfortunately, sometimes we got to learn these lessons the hard way. If there's no indicator to let you know, then how do you know? And then on your relationship with your team, ask them, say, hey guys, so here's the door, here's what we're supposed to do. Any thoughts about that? Or how would you go about it? And then same thing, that's what your mastermind's for. Anytime, so I would say, listen to your gut. Anytime something doesn't feel off, or it's different, or you feel like it might be out of your scope, just post it Mastermind.
The other thing is, next time, specific finishes like front door, staining, whatever you do, beams, try to make a sample before you proceed to finish. That's the key. So they might not like the color. Sometimes the stain is reacting different on different nude because might be oak, for example, might be white oak, might be dark oak. So when you apply a stain, it's going to show different. So before you proceed, make a sample. Make sure, I don't know, your subcontractor is the first time you are working with it. Just you gotta stay with them in the first day and take a look how they're doing. But sample is very crucial. It's the main key.
Okay.
If they sign on the back of the sample, because I'm a full finisher guy and I know what it is, they sign on the back of the sample, you're done after that. If they don't like the color, and that's, you got to charge more and you have to strip it. So your labor, you are not doing free. You are not doing free labor. That's what I mean. So sample, is the main key. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we have a door on the September 16th, so here we go.
Okay, on the door, you don't have to
Yeah.
go on the front of the door, but you go on the side of the door, you can make a little sample
Side.
if you don't have the actual or extra piece. So go on the side of the door, put a little bit stain, put a clear, and if it is, you can strip it. It's just a little, excuse me, it's a little piece. It's not any big deal.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
that's
piece is
a
gonna
tiny
give
deal
you
now.
a big break.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. This
Yeah.
helps quite a bit.
Right on. Florian, you're up.
Not too much, actually. It's just like, I have a friend of mine at BNI, so we're talking like 2 days ago. Yesterday, we had lunch together. He sent me a text, and he's sharing his profile, let's say like a business card. So I say, where you got that? He goes, like, I got it from .cards.com. So what it is, like, you pay $20, they send you the card like digital. And sometimes, for example, you go somewhere and you don't have a card with you. So I said, hey, what is your phone number? And he said, okay, that's my phone number. I said, okay, I'll send you my business card. So meantime, you get the other people information at the same time. So it's not like you're sharing all in the card, but you're taking people information and you put in your book. I said, okay, Steve Burnett, this is the cell phone number. Hey, what is your information? And then when it comes to cards, here come the new clients. So I don't know about you guys. If you think about it, I was thinking, and that's a good idea. And then the other thing is sometimes about the Google review, you always follow up, send text or whatever, and it doesn't come back. But when you're on the job site, you try to get the Google view no matter what. And sometimes the link doesn't work. So what I saw yesterday in the Facebook, somebody has a QR code for the Google review. So you share the Google review code right away to your client, and they don't have to search on the website like, hey, Yansha Modern Finishes, here's the review, write it down. But they get the link, they fill it up right away. So those are two things I'm thinking about. Any suggestions?
Quick question, Florian. So I checked .card.com and card.com. I'm not seeing it. Can you give me the URL, please, again?
Yeah, so this is, okay, it's .cards.com.
Dot.
Okay, so I'm gonna share it with you. You guys
Okay.
share it with me. So this is
Mhm.
business card. I'll share it right now. Okay, I send the text.
In the mastermind chat or text me?
No, I texted you. Do you have the
Okay.
phone too?
Yep. Dot. Okay. So dot period cards.
Yes.
DOT period cards. Thank you.
It sounds very interesting because you can save whatever this guy sent it to me. I can put in my contact, and it's all his profile, his email, everything. The website.
Okay. So yeah. This is really cool. It's like a link tree, but it's
Right.
professional and it looks like a business card. Yeah, I like
Okay.
this. This is cool. And so
he put his picture there, his business.
Yep,
and-
call, email, backup number, website.
Right.
I think it's good idea. I wonder what the cost is. I just pulled it up
It's
here.
like $20. That's what.
Okay.
And they give you
Then
like option. They give you the option for 5 cards, I think. So
mhm.
every member in your team can have one of those cards. They can share it. For example, they are in the job site. Hey, I don't have any business card, but if they have the phone, they can share it to the other people, so they can get their information as well too. You know what I mean?
Okay, and then you can
Okay,
save the contact directly to
Yes.
your
Yes.
iPhone.
Yes.
There's a button there.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I think that's convenient. I like it. Yeah.
I just have to work a little bit, ask more questions. It's easy to set it up, it looks like,
Mhm.
but it's very nice.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are really nice. I wasn't following, but now
Uh-huh.
so now I looked it up. But I use Hi Hello or something like that. So similar to that kind of thing. Thing. Those are really convenient where you get to scan. So on my business cards, I even have the QR code that goes to that. I think Dot might have it. So that's nice too, where you can put that on your business cards as well to scan it.
Florian, do you mind if I share it in the chat here so these guys
Of
can
course,
see
of
what
course,
we're
of course.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah, and it's really nice because even at BNI we have some others that will do that and we can dot.cards. They'll have the other ones like mine, and it's really nice and convenient. I can save it on there instead of losing a bunch of cards. But it's easy for the client too.
Yeah, and the one thing I was concerned about is when you have to save the link for the contact, but no, there's a great big button that says save contact, so you can save it directly to your phone.
Yeah. The other good thing is
For
that
iPhone
because you get
users, not for
people's,
Android guys.
yeah, you get what do you call it, people's information on that because you are sharing, you send a text or something, okay, and then respond to, hey, let me save your contact. So it's kind of new clients, and if it's not, he's going to share it with somebody else, and you
Yeah.
pay $20, and it's pretty much free after that, right?
Yeah, that was really cool.
So
Right
the
on.
other one is a Google review too. I don't know if I can see it anymore in my Facebook, but somebody was saying that you have to pay like maybe $50 or something like that, and it comes like a link. Okay, they send you a card too. So if you want to buy a card, they can send you like 5 cards. I think it was like $100 for 5 cards, something like that. But it shows, like Sonia was saying, you have a QR code, and actually, if you have, when it comes to QR code, if you want to set it up, you have to buy it. There's not any QR code for free, right?
The QR codes
Yeah.
you can do to Canva and set up that link and it'll generate one for you. So you can yeah, so on Canva, if you look up QR code, it'll generate one like samples for you, and then you can link your information to that, and it'll go to the Google review or go whatever you want to put on there.
This is Canva.com.
Canva.com, and you can do the free version, and they should have some samples up there for you. But it's $12 a month. I use Canva a lot, and you can just generate that, and it doesn't charge you. But you can design it the way you want. I did one, trying to find a card, and so I could show you. Gosh, I don't have it on me right now, but I just put it on the back of that. I can grab it really quick.
It's crazy because those apps today, you gotta pay. It's not as used to be for free anymore. So I'm trying to do everything for free. I happen.
If you have, so on the, you can see that, but on the back, you can, it's a real simple one. So mine's like a hi, hello, but it has everything on there. I just haven't added the thing, but you can do that with Canva. And that one was a Canva one. It's real simple. It's real. You're welcome.
Okay, right on. Cool stuff.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, Chris, you're up, sir.
I just wanted to pick your guys' brains, see if there's any tips or anything you guys had, both for sales tracking and like job tracking. How do you say? Estimate follow-ups. So after you do an estimate, and if you don't close it there, I'd like to know what people's process is in terms of follow-ups. And then I'd also like to know people's process in terms of tracking drip jobs. It sends out those automated emails and texts. It'll also track the sales and stuff like that, but I'm just curious, and it'll tell you stuff like where the lead came from, but I'm just curious if anybody has any other tips or anything on either of those two topics, a process or a rule of thumb on how often they follow up, stuff like that. I remember, Steve, you told a story about you followed up with a guy for 6 years before you painted his house or something like that. Just wanted to, get
Okay.
anything anyone has to say about that.
All right, great question. I want to state something real clear. This is so important when it comes to follow-up. And it's a principle, and this isn't directly to you, Chris. This is very common. And so I try to beat this drum as loud and as hard as I can because it's a game changer when it comes to your close ratio. The principle is there should never be a question of when to follow up. The reason is we set that appointment at the sales call at the estimate before we leave every time. We do that by asking a yes or yes question. Would it be okay if I followed up with you next Thursday or Friday? See, I didn't ask if it was okay if I follow up. It says, okay if I follow up with you next Thursday or Friday. Friday? Okay. Morning or afternoon? Oh, afternoon, 2 p.m. Great. I put it in my calendar. 15 minutes I block out, and I send them a calendar invite. Just doing
You'll
this
send them a
makes it
calendar invite for a phone call.
absolutely. That's a meeting.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I want them to be available? Do I want them to make time for it? Do I want them to be there? Yeah. So you're providing a service to them by doing this. You're making it easier for them to buy from you. You're also showing them that you're responsible and you have a trusted system. You follow through and you follow up, building more value into your proposal. And then when you call them, and if they're still not ready for whatever reason, okay. And then just gauge the situation, right? So it's how long is it? Just depends on the situation. Are they going away for a week? Sorry, we already follow up in 2 weeks. Yeah, sure, that sounds good. Okay. So the story mentioned Art from New Jersey, right? Business was down. Business cycles take a while, right? So I just said, Barry, if I follow up in 6 months, he says, yeah, sure. And so that one turned into every 6 months. And I connected with him. We had a warm conversation. He was in was it steel or iron business up in New Jersey? This was during the Great Recession. So he was feeling it. We were all feeling it. But yeah, after 6 years, he goes, oh, hey, Steve, how are you? Yeah, business is great. Man, it's awesome. You ready to paint your interior? No. I was like, oh, man. He goes, but the exterior needs painted again. Put it on your calendar. I was like, yes. Okay. So the idea is it's never an interruption because you set the appointment and you make it convenient for them, which makes it easier for them to buy from you. It's like Amazon's buy now button. They make it too easy for us to buy from them. That's the principle. We want to make it easy for them to buy from us. And we don't ever want to interrupt them. And that's why a lot of guys are like, "Oh, I don't want to interrupt them." You're right, you shouldn't. Instead, set the appointment, send them an invite, and then call them then.
Yeah, that's right. I remember, Steve, I had a client after a year and a half, appendix here, and follow up. Oh, let's do it May. And May said, oh, we cannot do it right now. We don't have the funds. I said, do you mind your call in September? She goes, yeah, absolutely, yes. And now go September, and here comes the new AC in their house. I couldn't do anything. And goes back, and then I said, okay, let me call him Christmas. He said, okay, around Christmas. I said, yeah, that's fine. I end up doing after a year and a half. And guess what? After 6 months, I paint the exterior next to their door.
Oh, cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yep.
Yeah,
So let's
I'm
get
gonna
put
try.
into your calendar as appointments. So you don't really need a reminder because it's in your calendar as a meeting, as an appointment, and then it's your job to reschedule again if you haven't closed it yet.
Actually, what is the good thing about Book Me or Calendar, which I'm proud we have it, guys? I have to do some draperies and curtains on my home. So there are 3 companies, and there are big companies here where I am. So I call them and try to figure out the schedule. Hey, guys, I have to figure out with my wife when she comes home, do you have any link? So based on link, I can see what is open. And none of them has a link. And that is, oof, I am way ahead up compared to the other companies. And small, that is a big break for the clients because they can see your schedule. I was very surprised. Unfortunately, we have to do manual. I have to open the calendar when I'm free so they can come. It's a headache. Book me, you see the schedule, they book you, whatever time it is. Awesome.
Right on. Yes, sir. Awesome,
And it's
Florian.
also a service. It's looked as a service. I remember somebody mentioning that it's good service. It shows that you give good service.
Yes.
Indeed. It's like going to a restaurant and the waiter or waitress coming by and checking on your waters or your drinks and are you ready for the dessert menu? And yeah, Chris, does that answer your question?
Yep, it's great. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else there? Because you shared a few things. I just wanted to make sure we addressed
I'd be curious to know anything that anybody does in terms of sales tracking, just in terms of just writing down just keeping track of all that. Drip Jobs will do it for you. I was doing something that was like, I was writing where the lead came from. But it was I think it was getting too complicated and stuff like that. So Drip Jobs is good, but I was curious to hear if anybody had any other things that they do with that in terms
Okay,
of just
so I'm
tracking
yeah, I'm
sales.
pretty obsessed with tracking some of these, but in order to answer your question, I need you to be crystal clear on what exactly you're looking to track. Right, so you've got your lead source.
Just
Sounds like you have your
tracking,
close ratio.
yeah, close ratio. I was writing down how the length in between the estimate booked and when it was closed. What else was I writing down? I don't have it off the
Okay,
top of
so
my
the
head.
sales cycle,
Yeah, just as much data as can possibly be collected while at the same time keeping it simple.
yeah. So those are
What's the
all,
most important?
yeah, okay, there we go. Thank you. I like that question. So I'm going to refer to, there's a book called 4Ds of Execution. Now it's boring, don't read it. Okay, but there are a couple of valuable principles in there. Watch the summary, but don't read the book. It's one of those big fat boring corporate books. Okay, in it though, a couple of key principles are lead and lagging indicators. So if you guys, of course you do, use the DYB scoreboard. If you fill it out, the very top section, your sales and your revenue and your a couple of other financial indicators there, those are your lagging indicators, right? You can't affect those. Those are the results. But pretty much everything below it, okay, are your leading indicators, meaning those are all the things you can affect. Okay. So when it comes to sales, your sales ratio, your sales life cycles, those are all lagging indicators, right? Leading indicators are the most important. This is the 80/20. And what I have is that DYB scoreboard checklist, excuse me, DYB sales checklist. And what you do is for every appointment you go on, you go through and you check all the boxes, right? Did you knock at the exact time? Did you wear your smiley face name tag? Right? Did you ask the great experience question? Did you schedule the follow-up phone call? Did you send a handwritten note card? Those are just a few that are on there are what are essential. Those are what really matters. You take care of those, everything else, especially the money, takes care of itself.
Fair enough.
So if you guys
That's
don't
good.
have a copy of that, yeah, just shoot me a message or I can post a copy of it again in your mastermind chat for you.
Okay.
Yeah, on the close ratio, if you go into the reports, it'll tell you in drip jobs your close ratio. If you haven't
Yeah.
done that already. Okay.
Yeah, I know there's a lot in drip jobs. I was doing a lot more and I don't know. And then I also like that I had it in a spreadsheet, but yeah, no, I'm curious to what you guys all do. Some of it's too much information sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, right? You gotta be
Yeah.
careful and stick with the essentials, 80/20. And so that we can move at the speed of opportunity. But good questions. I love it. Again, if you guys need a copy of the DYB sales checklist, just mention it in the mastermind chat or wherever, reach out to me and happy to send you a copy of it.
You
That's
you
what,
sent it to me before, but I might look at it again, yeah.
there you go. Print it out and use it for a month and watch the difference. And then look back, take a snapshot of your close ratio now. Use this for 1 month and compare them.
Mm.
Okay. Because you master what you measure. You're tracking your calories. Guess what's going to happen?
Mhm.
Yeah. Jesus is tracking his reps at the gym. Look what's happening. He's turned into a beast. You master what you measure. All right. And anybody have anything else before we roll out with takeaways?
Not so far.
Okay. Going once, going twice. Gone, baby. Hey, Seuss. Close us out through takeaways, sir.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start building up those hours for the deck stainings. That's gonna be very helpful. Mhm.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Thank you. Sonia?
Hard knocks of being an entrepreneur, especially when you're in a precarious situation, but just making sure to use our mastermind group to help support when we're in doubt.
Yes, we're here. That's what we're here for. Right on. Thank you. Florian?
Checking those warranty service, like Jesus was saying, I want to double check for the new items that are coming up. Make sure it's black and white, like we say all the time. I'm gonna check that .cards. Also, thanks Sonia for that Canva.com. I'm gonna look at it for free version if I can get it. Something I don't know. I have to look at it and close ratio, like Chris was mentioning, and that's what I have.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, that's a nice list. Fantastic. Thank you, Florian. Chris?
One other thing I'll throw out there for anyone that's interested is I found a cool website called Piktochart. And it's really good for generating like infographics and flyers and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And it's Pikto, like Pikto, Piktochart. And they have a AI. And so basically, if I want to say, I use them for Facebook and stuff like that. You can use them for flyers, but you basically just tell the AI, um, I want an infographic on deck staining, and it'll generate the entire thing for you. And obviously, like, you want to go back through it and proofread it all. And they have a limited gallery of photos, but it makes sense to me anyways to use your own photos. But that's something that when I was like trying to get my Facebook content going, I went ahead and just made like 52 infographics for one day of the week. And so I just paid the subscription, whatever, for 1 month, and then just generated them all. So that's something I would
wild.
definitely recommend.
Back in my day, we had to pay designers out the wazoo for these things.
Yeah. Yeah, and they look
Not
great.
including the weeks of emails back and forth. Oh my goodness.
No,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
and
Very
they
cool.
look great and professional and everything.
Yeah. Cool. Right
I've
on.
got here dot.cards.com, canva.com, yes or yes questions. I just like that a lot. That's probably something to just think about for a while. Yes or yes questions. Calendar invites for each follow-up appointment. I'm doing follow-up appointments, but I love the calendar invite. The 4 Ds of execution, check out the summary on YouTube, and lead over lagging indicators.
Yeah, right on. Fantastic. Thank you, Chris. And here's one more takeaway for sales. This one's super, super powerful. Stop asking them, what do they think? Because thinking takes time. Instead, say, how do you feel? We make decisions on our feelings, then we justify them by feeling. Then we justify them by logically. Okay. So don't ask them what you think. Ask them, how do you feel? How does this feel? Feels great. Great. Let's go. All right. Go get them. I want to encourage everybody to dream big, hustle smarter. You've got this. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.